I want to give you a quick little kind of hack type of way of thinking, perspective to really make your relationships feel and be a lot more harmonious the way you want to, be the ideal relationship you want. And the main way you do that is by expecting imperfection. If you learn to plan in that you're going to have arguments and disputes and so forth into the relationship, then you're a lot less surprised or taken off guard or feeling like something's wrong or really needs to be fixed whenever you do have conflicts, right? See, people shoot and aspire for perfection instead of recognizing me and my partner are going to be two different individuals, different personality sets, different belief systems in some areas that are going to butt heads at some point. And so if you learn more so to embrace that instead of, fighting against it, then now you can learn to love even the not so pretty things about your partner and about your relationship dynamic. And what starts to happen is you start to really embody what it means to truly and fully love your partner, meaning loving all parts of them. And if they do the same thing with you in return, then you both start to love your relationship as a whole, right? And you start to have more of a grace for the conflicts that you guys have. And watch this. State is everything towards resolving issues, right? State, mental state, emotional well-being, mental well-being is everything to you being able to actually and effectively work through resolving issues between you and another human being, let alone the person that you spend every day with, right? And lay next to every day. So whenever you're able to embrace and love on even the difficult areas that you have with them, then you learn to build more patience into your wiring, more peace, more of a positive, optimistic approach to going into addressing issues that seem like it's going to be a mountain to climb sometimes, to where you start making that mountain look like more of an anthill. And this is another really great way of never forgetting who your partner really is to you versus who they're representing as to you in this moment of headbutting. Because look, we all know whenever you're having that conversation about that thing that really triggered you or made you feel a way because your partner did or said something or didn't say or didn't do something that really offended you or really made you question how much they were caring in that moment, question how thoughtful they were being towards you, how respected you were, right? In those times, that's when it's hardest sometimes to remember that my partner actually loves me dearly, that my partner is actually in my corner. They got my back when it doesn't feel like they got your back, when it feels like they left you out there on the island by yourself. No pun intended, right? But when it feels like they were considered more towards themselves, more considerate to what was mattered to them than to you, to where they selfishly chose to do or not do something or whatever out of their own benefit at your expense, right? Those kind of thoughts that can go through your mind naturally, because as humans, our brains are designed to focus on the negative, the pain point, the thing that could be potentially harmful. And so even with the most loved people that we trust the most and dearly, a lot of times our minds will still entertain the idea. It'll let it float by your by up top, right? When you're thinking through, it'll let that idea just pass by once or twice that maybe your partner didn't care. Maybe they weren't concerned about you, just to make sure you're on your P's and Q's and not let anything happen to you that is your vessel and that is your being. And even furthermore, the less healed, healthy, and whole that you actually are, right? Meaning if you have some baggage still left under the tank, some things you never fully addressed, those thoughts will get stronger and stronger and be more prevalent, right? When you have conflict with your partner, to where you start looking at them as more of the bad guy or the person that's against you than ever. So this is also why it's very important to always continuously work on your healing, to be a more healed you, trying to work through conflict, because a lot of the reasons why conflict is going is because the two individuals in the equation, or at least one of them at the very least, has unhealed wounds that makes it impossible or to very difficult to bring resolve and bring a peace to whatever they're dealing with or going through, because there's inner wounds that they haven't fully addressed. So no matter how much their partner does better, right, or does something new, they'll never be able to provide that reassurance and safety to their partner because they don't trust themselves fully to trust them. So now it creates this unhealthy imbalance of their partner trying to go above and beyond to maybe gain the trust or whatever the wound is calling into the relationship and causing disruption. But even in that, right, if you learn to go into your relationship a lot more open-minded to the fact of, hey, I'm not perfect, I'm flawed, and so my partner's not going to be perfect or flawed either, then you start anticipating, hey, there's going to be something that comes up, right? Yes, you should be only getting to relationships that are people that are healed and whole, right? Perfection, no, but whole means you don't have any just lingering baggage that still needs to be resolved, right? You're coming in as a healed human being, right? That should be your goal, to look out for that first, but then to recognize that even in that, there could be things that comes up. Maybe there's an old wound that was healed that your partner comes to realize wasn't as healed as they thought, right? And maybe through something you say or that you do, it pops up and becomes a thing again, right? And so expect that will be a thing, and expect to try to help be the champion for your partner or be your partner's place of nurture to help them work through that, to not let maybe their actions on the surface define your perspective of them. And if anything, let it define something that they need help from you by, right? Something with the side of them that they could use your help on, not your defensiveness on, right? Game changers when it comes to you being able to work through issues together, right? Because it's always about unity. Never forget your partner wants the same thing you want. I don't care how much it doesn't look like that on the surface, as long as you can determine they truly love you and you truly love them, right? If that's the case, if that's your truth, then never let their actions confuse that truth. Get clear on and try to dig deeper to get under what's the root to behind why you're doing what you're doing that's taking us away from what our truth is, which is loving on each other and wanting to be in harmony. End of the day, point in case, it always comes full circle to how you choose to see things is how you will navigate and deal with things, right? If you look at you and your partner butting heads or the constant obstacles you guys keep having, and it's just that, mountains and your partner being against you and it just being this whole war, right? You're going to approach it that way. You're going to be defensive. You're going to go into every conversation looking to win the battle instead of actually find harmony and peace, right? You're going to go in trying to prove that you're right and they're wrong. You're going to try to defend your character. You're going to try to do all the things that reflect someone being someone else's opponent, instead of you going in expecting that, hey, we're going to have our bumps and our bruises. But these were the parts I was looking to love on more than anything, because I know, of course, we love the rainbows and gumdrop stuff. We love the feel good things that we get to enjoy together. So I'm looking forward to the moments that are not going to be so bright, because I get to show my partner 10 times more that I love them more than I ever could imagine, right? If you really love your partner, you really value them, then look forward to the moments where they can't feel the love or they don't see it the same way, or they're feeling like you're not loving them, to triple down and show them, oh, I'm going to show you now. I'm really him. I'm really her. I'm really that one that you decide to be with for the rest of your life, or want to be with for the rest of your life. And this is a golden moment for me to show you more of that, represent that to you, so you can see I'm here for you even through the darker days or darker moments. That screams unconditional love on 1,000, right? Now, I'm saying this within reason. It doesn't mean let them start talking to you bad or, be disrespectful to you and all that. You still have to, make sure you're self-respect for yourself, carrying that for yourself and looking out for your self-care. But it means you could do it in a loving way. You can still talk in a calm way. You can still, keep a productive energy about you instead of getting into a negative spatful energy to where it just becomes more throwing dirt across the room towards each other, right? And I guarantee you, if you take this approach, it'll make the way you experience and see your relationship a lot more to that idea of a perfect relationship, because you're experiencing more of a happiness and harmony. Even through the more difficult times, you have a positive, optimistic mentality about it that makes your overall experience in your relationship a great one. Let's get it.